I jumped over a barricade and it was in the other. Like it was literally on the other side of the barricade.
Oh, so by train, do you mean like the actual like?
Yeah, underneath the subway. The subway. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The ladder going up, because yes, I have fallen into one of those.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was added with the subway.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it might have. I don't recall ever seeing it.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw it is when I fell in it. So.
But anyway, the state of Warzone. These headphones are weird. I'm using Beats by Dre now.
What?
Instead of my gaming headsets, because it's.
We're sponsored by Beats by Dre.
No.
What? Where's mine?
I haven't had a use for these because wired. Who uses wired headphones? Until now, it's a perfect use for it. Except they're soundproof, so now I feel like I'm yelling because I can't hear myself. Probably I should program it where I could hear myself in the headphones like a normal podcast, but we're not there. We're not there yet.
I mean, I don't know if you sound louder or not. I mean, I yell a lot in general, so that's probably nothing. Maybe you can hear me even. Maybe when I yell, it's even more.
Maybe it's louder, so I gotta be like, I gotta keep up. Yeah.
Hey, you get done, your ears are bleeding.
Yeah, it's like my dad. My dad yells for a living. Like he does not know how to talk normally. He has to yell. We've always thought that he was like deaf, but he hears shit. Like it's not like he's not deaf. I know he's not deaf, but one would think that this guy took a couple frag grenades to the head because it gets to a point that he'll start screaming, and you have to remind him, Dad, it's just me and you. We're having a normal conversation. I'm 3 feet away. Why are you yelling?
I almost said my wife's husband. That's me. My wife's dad is like, my father-in-law, I should say. My mother-in-law always talks about how he has selective hearing. And I was like, I just assume like you have bad hearing because you're older,
Right.
And he works on like he probably has worked on like equipment that's loud before, but yeah, I remember once we're like sitting out on the porch and there's a lake nearby that's like, I don't know, like a mile away, half a mile away. And like I'm talking, he clearly doesn't hear what I'm saying. Not that like we're just having like a conversation, the four of us. And then all of a sudden he's like talking about how you can hear like the boat's engines humming. I'm like, shut the fuck up right now. You cannot. Like you didn't hear anything I just said right now. And I'm 6. So you seriously, okay, I get it. What I say is not interesting to you, but that boat engine, I fucking need to hear that shit.
Yeah, I've met people like that. My old boss had that where he he'll hear if he can't be thinking and listening at the same time. So if he's thinking of something, if he's like, I guess if one would say maybe daydreaming or just like thinking about something he has to do later, he has to just hear like, ooh, because he like you'll be like talking to him right next to him and his head does not comprehend that you're like, he is so deep in thought that just it doesn't work. I've always been able to like walk and chew gum at the same time. Like I could hear you and I don't need to be looking at you. I don't need to be but I guess we're all different.
Yeah, like my father-in-law, he like pretty much handled the heating and cooling, and he basically did all the maintenance at this hospital, and also he like works on all of his cars, his boats. He pretty much anything mechanical he works on. So he's used to like listening, like, oh, that sounds a little the furnace is making a humming noise. That doesn't quite sound right. Like he is used to like focusing on those specific things, while like I could be driving my car and I wouldn't even know.
Right. But enough of that. The current state of Call of Duty Warzone.
But what I would notice is if all of a sudden the growl in Warzone kicks just a little bit more.
Yeah, I wonder if they could hear when someone's getting to a gunfight 300 meters away still. Man, I have to say that this game officially, we might have said this a couple times in the past, but right now officially, it's probably at its worst state.
Absolutely.
Just the combination. That's the problem. Is in the past we had our issues, but now it's the combination of so many things. Whether they're glitches, whether they're still the things that we've been dealing with from the beginning, like audio issues. They're still very inconsistent. um, getting kicked, just your normal things.
Mhm.
To
So
now,
like removing the meta part that you're about to
yeah,
jump on, like just too many glitches for a game that's been out almost a year.
yep. We
A
got
triple A game, this isn't like just some indie game with 4 people working on it. Like
and
this is a probably $1 billion game.
and that's probably what chaps our asses more is the fact that this isn't. And I'm just sure they could make their little argument like, listen, man, we just didn't expect this to blow up as much as it did. Blah. No, you're a AAA game.
The point wasn't for it to blow up like this.
Yeah. Why did you make it then if it wasn't for it to blow up? But yeah, your stem glitch is back. It's like, hey, we're back, boys. We're back. There's the invisibility hack. There's something that involves like shooting through walls that doesn't I guess involve like wall hacks. I don't know what that is. I haven't encountered it yet, but apparently people are talking about it. Then you got your cheaters still. Whether it's aim bots, wall hacks, combination of both. Either way, we keep seeing it. We probably don't see it as much because we don't play at that level. Obviously, the people that hack are dropping 50 kills a match, so we're not there yet.
Feels like we've been anyway. We'll get to that.
But meta wise, we've seen a lot of metas. The Grawl, the Bruin. I'm sure there's a couple there. Like the Kilo was kind of a meta. It's one could argue it still is, but it wasn't like a super fucking OP thing.
I would say it'd be like, well, the DMR currently is like the number one, like, and then Bruin right under it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what was the most broken gun before the DMR. Like what meta had the most broken gun?
I feel like Bruin's like the closest one I can think of because it was, but it wasn't broken. Nothing's broken like this.
No,
like you still had a shot, and you also like the Bruin wasn't the most steady gun either. Like you still had to have a bit of a skill to like a little bit of skill to use it. While the DMR, man, you can just 2 shots and it's over.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
At, like any range,
you have to connect the shots with the Bruin. It is a light machine gun, so you're not as fast. You're not as quick as getting from point A to B. But currently, the DMR is like you said, it's the most broken thing because it's a 2-tap. And if somebody has a head glitch on you, it's a wrap. It doesn't matter how good you are. I'm sure there's gonna be people like, oh, bro, I just fucking hit the head glitch. No, if you are running from an open spot, like if the storm pushes you across, let's say airport, across those runways, and somebody's on one of those like medians head glitching you with the DMR, it is a wrap. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are, you ain't making it out of there alive.
It's an assault rifle firing 50 cal bullets.
Yeah, it's a sniper gun. It's a sniper rifle. It's a semi-auto sniper rifle that takes as many hits. If you have stopping power on it, it's a 1-hit kill in the head. Yeah, it's super broken. And the fact that they said they nerfed it by only removing the headshot abilities of it, no.
What's so wild about it, and I know like a lot of people listening probably they don't understand how Warzone works, but like you play the game, you get dropped. Basically, if you get enough damage put into you for your character to die, you fall down and your teammates can pick you up. It's a time limit, and then people can continue to shoot you while you're on the ground to, finish you off. However, like generally we always joke around about how like when you're like final stand, that's what that's called. It takes more bullets to finish someone off in final stand than it does to actually put them down. But the DMR, there's been multiple times I've been shot by it, and literally as I'm doing the animation to fall down, I am eliminated before my character's body hits the ground.
Yeah,
like it's insane.
It's there's just no rhyme or reason how broken this is, and the fact that it's been 3 weeks now, and they still haven't patched it. Then the other guns, which you don't see as much. I can't think of what they're called. The Dimitris or it's the pistols.
Diamati. Yeah,
Yeah, Diamatis. There you go. You gotta be up close for those. Still broken. Absolutely. They kind of remind me of the Renettis when they were broken. This was. Those were around the time of probably the Bruin also, and then there were the other ones, the Snake Eyes. I remember.
The Magnum.
Yep.
I mean, I remember like probably the worst like glitch the game's ever had was like the FAMAS that had like the shotgun attachment or whatever.
Oh yeah,
they like got rid of that in like 12 hours. So.
Yeah, they patched that fast as fuck.
Good job for that one, boys.
Yeah. But the fact that this has taken as long as it has, it just fucking blows my mind, and it's hard to not criticize Raven, I guess, because it's not Treyarch anymore. They've handed it over to Raven. It's just maybe that's why it's taking a while. It used to be Raven and Treyarch. Now it's just Raven, and they have to do the updates, which I know they're working on a huge update supposedly coming in March, or maybe they're like, oh God, I don't have time for this. I don't know. Listen, hire somebody. You guys make enough fucking money on your little micro transactions. You could hire just one more fucking geek and throw his ass in there or her in there and fucking have it patched.
I mean, I assume this is what happened. This is my theory, because we already talked about how when this comes out, the Black Ops guns are going to be like the better guns, because the whole point is to push everyone to buy Black Ops.
Yeah.
And like, even if you remove the DMR, most of the Black Ops guns do still feel stronger.
Yeah.
Like the M16 still mean. Like the M16, but it doesn't feel broken.
No, M16's AUG, the fucking what's the other one? What's the light machine gun? The Stoner?
Yeah.
The Stoner's nasty. The FAMAS.
But it doesn't feel broken. Like
right.
It feels...
It's a strong gun. It's like what the M4 and the Kilo were at their height, you know. And everyone could have it. You could use each one depending on how you play. But there's no point of bringing those out right now. There's literally no point of bringing anything out other than a fucking DMR.
DMR or Type 63, I think, is also supposed to be kind of nasty, but I'm pretty sure DMR is the strongest one. I haven't seen too many Type 63s, but I think it's supposed to be. At least I saw a part of the nerf. Same thing, it had like headshot nerf, I think. But I assume they're just trying to make these guns more OP, and unfortunately, like I shouldn't say OP, but better than the Modern Warfare guns to force people to go buy Black Ops, and therefore they created this mess. I don't know, like, and that's always going to be like a constant. Like, if the whole point is adding more guns over time, there is going to be a constant. Like, you can only have like the guns be so different than the other ones as you add guns. You know, like it's either you have to just start nerfing back guns, that older guns, and just kind of like. Here's the DMR is now the new FAL, like which is still a good gun,
right?
But it's not like you have fucking PTSD every time you launch into a game.
I mean, you come across a team in like a house, had glitching out windows with the DMR. That's the thing. It's like lately we've been playing and it's been like, how do we avoid those bottleneck? Scenarios, not how do we beat this team or how do we go after this team? It's essentially like, how do we avoid, it's like when I play Fortnite, I don't know how to build. I know how to build your typical ramp and then the three walls around me, but the whole like going all the way up and down and shit, I can't do that. So what do? I avoid that. When I see somebody, when I shoot somebody and I break their shield and all of a sudden they build me the fucking John Hancock. For those that don't know and aren't from Chicago, it's the second tallest building in Chicago. I leave. I walk away. I'm like, I ain't dealing with that. Come chase me and maybe I'll turn around and pop you, but I'm not gonna. Nope. I'm staying away from that. That's how I've been playing Warzone. The moment that I see little heads fucking poking out the house with the DMR on it, we gotta find another way because there's no way of shooting them. And especially the fact that obviously Warzone is open, basically it could be console or PC.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, a PC player with the DMR is fucking like it's almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hack in itself. Like
Yep.
your cursor ain't moving. You can put that shit on a dime and just just fucking click your mouse and that shit, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and that's something that just fires so fast. It's like it
Yeah.
almost feels like an automatic sniper rifle.
Yeah, if you shoot it, if you have a fast enough finger, it's gonna be like a slow shooting assault rifle. And again, just all it takes is for you to land 2 hits, for the most part. I'm sure if you hit someone in the ankle, might take 3. But I've hit people like 1 in the chest, 1 in the head, and they're done.
Like, don't get me wrong. If I liked semi-automatic weapons, I would love this gun. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like some of it is the fact that it just doesn't fit my play style, but it's turned a game, in my opinion, that like one of the great aspects of the game with all the respawning is maybe people would play a little bit more aggressively and a little less campy, and it's turned into a camp fest. The meta is get your DMR, find a nice building to hold up in, and you can just pick people up because you can just pick someone off before they see it coming. If someone's in a building trying to take me out with the Grawl, they're not going to finish me off before I see them unless they're like the sickest player ever or hacking. But for the most part, I'm going to at least get an opportunity to find some cover and battle back. But with DMR, can't even fucking blink.
No, you have very, very, very little like small room for survival, which brings me to one of my other theories. We already talked about the theory of obviously promoting the Cold War guns and pushing people to buy the game so they can level up their guns faster. Goes back to what I've always said about Call of Duty. Call of Duty, ever since basically Modern Warfare came out, and you can make the argument that even before Modern Warfare, they started having a lot of training wheels for those that suck. This is the perfect gun for someone that sucks. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Like, you could be going against Nick Merckx, you could be going against Tim the Tatman, Nate Shot. Doesn't matter who you're going against. If you catch them slipping, if you catch Nate Shot or Scump opening a fucking like loot box and they don't see you, you could 2-tap them. Yeah. You could be the worst player and 2-tap them, and and they're done. Which
absolutely
might be why I feel like now the matchmaking is broken. We got a lot of people complaining about how they're in like, I guess before I start saying Diamond, let's explain, I guess.
I was going to say, this almost feels like it has to be a completely separate segment from what we're talking about.
There's this new website. It's called SPMM Warzone.com, skill-based matchmaking Warzone.com, which apparently it's a beta and it's not made by Activision, so I'm sure it has its flaws, but they've broken down the tier system of the skill-based matchmaking to bronze, silver, gold, and diamond, and then each one has 5 levels, 5 being the weakest one being the strongest one. So it's like bronze 5 4 3 2 1, silver 5 4 3 2 1, gold 5 4 3 2 1, diamond 5 4 3 2 1. And obviously diamond being the top, and I'll show you the percentage of like the ranking of the people you're going against in the world. Where someone like me, I have a 1.3 KD, should not be fighting in diamond. Okay, that's where the hackers go. That's where the good fucking sweaty players go. The pro players go. That's their skill level. Why am I there? And a lot of people have been complaining, assuming, okay, I'm going to throw this out there, assuming the website's right. Why, if I have a KD of 0.8, am I fighting people? Am I being put in lobbies of, diamond? You can make the argument that's, well, the game doesn't know what the fuck's happening right now because everyone has a DMR and everyone's KD's just skyrocketing, because you're dropping more kills naturally than you used to because of the DMR. It's I've always had like this comparison when like people complain about the spawning, but the whole map's campy. Like if you're playing against a camping team, the spawn's going to be a little fucked up because if everyone's hiding somewhere, not moving, the game's going to have to spawn you somewhere, and sometimes it might put you in a weird spawn because there's not enough shit going down. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the reason why supposedly the skill-based matchmaking is all across the board. But we've been seeing everything. We've been seeing like the fucking best of the best to the worst of the worst. There's no consistency. And I honestly, I kind of maybe blame it a little bit on the DMR. Like it's just the game doesn't know what the fuck's going on right now.
Sure. And who knows, like that's the one thing I want to know about the ranking system is, do they just still like take, is there a certain amount of players that should be bronze level? Like, do they just ultimately take a collection of so many, I guess, how many teams shouldn't be in that bracket? Because I was just looking at our like last match we had last night, which was a Diamond 4. So is Diamond 5's the highest, right?
Diamond 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's backwards. It's the other way around. So whatever. We're still like top 16%, it says. So I'm assuming that's what that means. When I look at difficulty Diamond 4, top 16% means we're in the top 16% of the, which, like, with the collection of people we had last night, we probably shouldn't have been in it.
No.
I think just, I guess one of our teammates had he was 141st ranked out of 150. Like, I mean, I'm 114th ranked. You're the highest one on our team, and you're 62nd, which at that, whatever, like your numbers show that you should be in Diamond. Like, if the median KD is 1.18 and you have a 1.3 KD, you should probably be in Diamond. I have a 0.93 KD. I'm probably like lower gold. And then 0.67 is probably bronze. But like, we had no business being in that lobby. We should have probably been like in a high gold or maybe a low gold lobby with a 0.97 KD. Like, I guess that's the thing that confuses me. The median KD is 1.18, and if you look at our team KD, 0.97, doesn't seem like a huge gap, but it honestly is. And I know, and whatever the algorithm is too, because also, like, if you take someone with like a 2 KD and take someone with a 1.5 KD, like that doesn't mesh properly. I know, like it's supposed to, but like that I mean, I guess if you have 2 KD, you are making up for the other guy, but there has to be more to create this algorithm, because it just doesn't seem like it's that hard to swing up to a 1.1. I have a 0.93 KD. A 1.18 KD isn't that far from me, you know. I feel like I can still battle on that, but like you said, with the DMR, man, you can't, like, because those guys who had, like, now when you're like a lobby with people that are sick with a gun, they only need to get 2 bullets on, and that's the other night when we were playing. It was just we couldn't even breathe.
Yeah,
we couldn't
last Saturday we played 5, 6, 7 matches straight, all diamonds. Diamond 1s, Diamond 2s, top 5, top 8% of the world.
It felt like we were going against pro gamers, and not like just the way they were like ninjas. They would just show up. I'm like, how did we not even like, for the most part, I think overall I have a pretty good recognition of my surroundings, and these guys were just like smoke grenade, like not really a smoke grenade, but they appeared, and before we could even react to them showing up, we were gone. Like, there's so many times I got killed that night and didn't even, like, I was just dead. I didn't see the bullet or anything because they shot me from behind, and I didn't even have time to turn around and react because the DMR takes 2 bullets and you're done. And those 2 bullets you can fire off in like a second.
I wonder though. I can't wait till this weekend, because I really want to play Warzone again to see if we get put in diamond lobbies. Maybe it was the weekend, but we've been very consistent the last 2 days in the lobbies that we get put in, and I wonder if it's Call of Duty got caught in a way. And
that's true, yeah.
And they've been tweaking it, and maybe that's why the DMR hasn't been passed yet, because they're like, God damn it, this fucking website has exposed our skill-based matchmaking. We got to fix this. Because we were getting straight diamonds, and then all of a sudden now, like yesterday, for the most part, we got consistently silver. We had a couple bronzes in there, and then a couple golds. I mean, we had the 1 diamond at the end, which is fine. I mean, I don't expect it to be flawless.
Yeah.
But Saturday, 4 days ago, it was strictly all diamond, and it was hell. It was going against a computer in like the highest fucking skill level.
It felt like you're trying to play quarterback for the first time, but you're practicing against NFL players. Like, you don't even have time to you don't have time to even learn how to read a defense because things are moving too fast. Like, you need to progressively work your way up to it. Um, like, and me and you have talked about how like as a team we've been playing like boobs too. Like, and I don't know if it's just I know like this whole DMR meta is completely in my head right now, and like I definitely feel like I'm shell shocked when I play the game. Um, because I like there is a time period when the game first came out and we were like playing it every fucking night, especially like right when the quarantine hit. We were like playing like 6 hours a night. Like I felt like we could fuck around in the diamond absolutely. Like as a team, I felt like we just had the chemistry to do it. But obviously we don't play it nearly as much as we used to. The meta's changed a little bit too. I think back then it fit more of my strengths personally. Um, but like and that's what I'm trying. I'm like, are the lobbies that hard, or are like, is it a combination of like the DMR is just nasty, the lobbies are tougher, and we're playing like complete fucking boobs?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the one game that I could say that, like, the more I play Cold War, the better I get at it. The more spots I know, the more vantage points I know, the more kills I get. Doesn't matter what lobby you put me in. Like, I know I'm going to get my kills. I know I'm going to do my stuff. This game, I feel like Warzone. Like, there's times where you just go backwards. And it's like you think that, man, the more I play this game, the better I should get, and all of a sudden they change the meta on you, and well, now we're all aware of maybe it's a lobby issue, and it's like all of a sudden you're like, wow, like we used to get more wins back in the day than we do now. Like now it's like we can go weeks without a win, let alone two in a fucking two at like back to back days or two in a night like that. It's been months since that's happened.
I think I've only won twice since the new update. I know one was like, and I know it was all before like the DMR was discovered when we won. Like the DMR was not a problem. Like our wins ever since everyone has the DMR and the Damani. Like we haven't won shit. At least I haven't. I don't know if you guys have won nights that I haven't got on, but I have not won anything.
I've snuck in a couple extra ones in there, but I mean, tooth and nail, man. Like it's not like you can't walk into a win. Like it's fucking insane.
And then like the other night, like when we like this is like I felt like we had a win, and then the game was glitched, and I couldn't pick you up. Like and then I was on my own.
Yep, that's a good point. We had one. I guess it was 2 nights ago where you couldn't, like, I couldn't shield up, or I couldn't pick up shields. I dropped the fucking armor plate box.
The X button quit working.
Yep, that's literally what it was. Like the X button for those play on Xbox was not working. And that was like just another glitch, and I think it's like the combination between the inconsistencies of the lobby. Like if you're gonna have skill-based matchmaking, fine, have it, but be consistent about it. The broken DMR, and all the other fucking glitches, it's just destroying this game. Another glitch I forgot about is when you grab your loot, when you buy your loadout, you freeze.
Oh, I forgot about that. It happened to me like 4 times. It happened a bunch yesterday.
Yep. I was watching Megan Anderson, female UFC fighter, stream the other night. Same thing. Like, I guess it's comforting to know that everybody's going through it, but it's like, God damn it, every fucking day, it's what's new,
Even now I think about last night you got booted in the middle of a match.
Yep.
Cerberus got booted in the middle of a match, and then like every single time a match ended, someone got booted. Like we had to just reset the lobby every single time.
Yep.
Maybe that's a workaround to get the skill-based matchmaking going on. They just boot everyone and like
that's fine. But again, it goes back to fucking be consistent about it. Whatever you decide to do, if you want us all to go back to the menu and then start off a lobby like you do in multiplayer, okay, cool. I'm down for that. If maybe you need a workaround, I don't understand why they just don't get rid of certain things. Like in like other games, when something's broken, they just remove it out of the game, fix it, and then bring it back in.
Yep.
Here it's like we have to endure and wait, and no one really seems to give a fuck. Ultimately that's my problem with Activision or Raven. I don't give a fuck who it is. Ultimately, it's the lack of what it appears that they just don't give a fuck. They're like, well, we know you're gonna keep playing, so we're gonna take our sweet ass time. But yeah, I mean, hands down, I think it's at the worst state. Not to mention, everybody was expecting an update by now. I know they're saying there's this huge update coming in March, but that's not them saying it. That's people that have leaked it saying it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people were expecting something big when Cold War came out. That first season of Warzone, like the new Cold War integration. And aside from adding the guns, literally nothing else has changed.
Like, I can't remember if we talked about this on a pod or if we just talked about it ourselves, which we mentioned like this. And I was like, I'm gonna be a little disappointed if all I do is add guns, but I will somewhat give them a break as long as they add more like the next season. As long as like they go harder the next season. The first season is kind of like just integrating the guns and figuring out the meta. And as long as they fix the meta, I might feel a little bit better. But I get like maybe this has the preseason, and then like March is when the game originally came out, and like this is kind of like starting off with it. Like I somewhat get trying to. Obviously, the best testers for the game are the gamers. It seems a little lazy, but I get it a little bit. It's frustrating they haven't fixed it yet, but I guess I'm cautiously optimistic that they will. Or I shouldn't even say that. I'm willing to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. However, I'll be furious if one, there's not more updates, and two, it's not fixed by like the new season. But yeah, I don't want to wait till March to get like this gun patched. As far as like getting a new map and everything, I can wait till March and everything. And like to go back to like taking things out of the game, like the stim pack is the first thing I think of. Like just deactivate it, or like I'm cool with taking like a step further. Like if you want to like reset the meta, how about like when Black Ops comes out, you just reset like the perk system, and you reset like like if you want to keep the Warzone guns, fine, or whatever modern guns, that's fine. But you now have to go off of Cold War perks, and you have to go off of Cold War equipment, sort of thing. Again, probably the bigger issue is like watching them integrate like the guns in the game. Who knows how they'll figure out how to integrate like extra perks and things like that. And I know most of the perks and tacticals and lethals are pretty much the same stuff. And I don't know, maybe there's a stim pack in Cold War. I'm not sure.
There is.
So I guess ultimately at the end of the day, you're just pretty much adding the same thing. Then fine, just get rid of the stim pack for right now. Just deactivate it right now. It's not going to change the meta of the game until you fix it, because it's insane that people are just like using this hack and playing 4-hour games till someone finally gives up or gets booted. I wonder if there's like, or you know what they should do to counter? Oh no, it wouldn't do anything. As I say, to counter it, like set like a time, like if the game, when the final storm is done, the game should be put on like a 1-minute timer and then just end right then. But ultimately, like, who cares? Make the cheaters just sit in that fucking lobby as long as you can. I'd rather like have 30 people cheating just stuck in that lobby for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, just to prove that they're just a bunch of fucking losers. The other thing you could do is, which this, I mean, it'll just make it easier for now. I guess like maybe once the storm shuts all the way, in 45 seconds, everyone that's still alive loses.
Or like, yeah, if you're still alive a minute after it, you're banned for a week. Yeah. Because there's only one way you're still in that match, and it's because you're cheating.
Yeah, just catch them in the net, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, no, I've seen like videos of people like apparently like they're like fucking stim packing themselves for like 3 hours, like them and like 3 other guys trying to, all for what? Here's the part that like, you know, I mean, cheaters are gonna cheat. I understand the wall hacking and the fucking aim bots. That's always been there. I understand. I mean, you're still a fucking loser, don't get me wrong, but I understand. The whole trying to sneak in a win, what does that do? You don't get anything. which is one of our complaints, is you really don't get anything for winning in this game. It's Call of Duty hasn't realized in maybe ever, but at least in years, to like give some sort of reward for wins. You know, they haven't figured that out. You literally get nothing. I don't like, why do it? Why waste 3 hours just cheating just to get a win?
Yeah, I agree.
To ultimately say, hey, I got my 16th win.
I like to game the system. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you're still a fucking loser. Like,
have fun staying in your parents' basement the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video you sent me the other day of that guy, I don't know who that one guy was in Dr. Disrespect. But just when he's talking about the glitches and everything, and he said something about like bet you $50 that the glitch is back. And when I'm doing it, I shouldn't be talking about this right now because I'm doing a terrible job of describing it. But I was dying when when it was determined that there was like several people cheating in the game. And he's like, hey, doctor. And he's like, oh, doctor just like, so yeah, give me a second. I'm looking for my wallet. Like, I was just dying when he responded with that because, yeah, there's like, so what basically was going on is this guy was telling Dr. Disrespect about all the glitches in this game. And one is a stim pack glitch that we just described, that basically the stim pack just regens your health and you can just do it infinitely. So like, in the game, when like you're in the storm, you start slowly losing health, but if you have a stim pack, you can keep regaining your health. And literally 4 other people were doing it, like 4 people, like Jesus Christ.
Which I guess maybe it's a good thing that we haven't made it to the top 2, top 3, because that'd be very upsetting if we like make it to like that final circle and then all of a sudden we notice that we're like the 3rd team alive and there's no one around us and the circle's closing in and we're like, you sons of bitches. I
suppose we can report them, but I don't know how well that.
Oh, they don't fucking do anything. Yeah. There's been people. Who was it? I don't think it was Dr. Disrespect. It was Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx, he played with a hacker the other day.
Of cheaters.
Yeah. Well, allegedly, because he was playing with basically what we're so I'll get to it in a second. He was playing with a hacker, and the hackers was telling him that he's been playing since the beginning of the game and not once got banned. So it's like Activision doesn't give a fuck. Or here's the thing, and I like to tell certain scenarios, there's every once in a while there comes a scenario where it's like you only have 2 options and there's no third, there's no C option, there's no number 3 option, there's 2 options. Either you don't give a fuck or you don't have the means to do it. Like, they could only land on those 2 things. There's no other fucking option. And it could be
which they have the means to it.
Like, they obviously have the means to it.
This game makes way too much money for them, like, to excuse it. So I get, like, ultimately, like, they don't give a fuck because they're not willing to reallocate resources to fix that. Like, that's not a priority. They want to place their fund. They want to place their payroll towards other things.
Yeah, it's. I used to always say it to people. You either didn't want, like, you're either. I can't say this word anymore for the sensitive ears of 2021 and 2020, and well, whenever we crossed over dimensions and everyone became a pussy. Starts with an R, but it's an idiot. You're either an idiot or you don't want to do it. It's one of the 2. Like, I always used to fucking love doing that at work. Like, it's like there's no second option or there's no third option here. All right. You're a fucking human being. You have the means to do it. Either you don't want to do it or you're too stupid to fucking do it. Activision, all those fucking developers that do it, they have the means to do it. I just think that they'd rather, they have their own agenda and whether it's microtransactions and fucking making cosmetic stuff and whoever or working on the new thing. I don't know. It's just something that it's insane that it's still going on.
It's frustrating because the game, like, at the bare bones, is incredibly fun. It's like it's the best, and like we look past like these little glitches here and there, but they start to pile up and pile up and pile up. But we still keep
keep chipping away at it.
Yeah, like we see this cake on the table, but every time we touch it, it shocks us. But we're still trying to grab it.
Yep. Like we would stop. Like you understand how fast we would get Activision to stop what the fuck they're doing and fix it if we all just said, you know what, we're boycotting, fucking Warzone. Let's all go to Fortnite. But we're not.
Yeah, I'm an addict.
Yep.
Like it's crazy too, because like we talk about, man, it's so pointless, the wins. There's nothing to chase, but man, am I still thirsty for those wins?
Yeah. I mean, even something as fucking simple as Fortnite, when they give you that season, whatever season you're in, specific umbrella for getting a win. Like, and you can't get that. Obviously they should do more for people that win more, but even that. Like if you got every season there was a new camo that you could get, or whatever, suit, armor, title, I don't care.
I guess to whiteboard it a little bit for people, because by hearing like you get an umbrella for winning, it may come off that sounds really ridiculous in that context.
Yeah.
It's I guess ultimately not much better, but like these games, these battle royals are designed. It's like there's this giant island. Everyone gets on a plane. Everyone jumps down onto it's like Hunger Games. Anyone's seen that? Like basically you land on this island and it's a free for all. Last team standing wins. And like Warzone, you jump out of an airplane and you have a parachute. You parachute down. In Fortnite, you have an umbrella. Or actually, at this point, they have like gliders and different things. At this point, they have a whole bunch of different things. But originally, it was the school bus flying in the sky with like a hot air balloon on top of it and an umbrella that you floated to the ground.
Yeah. But just some sort of collector's
item. I guess it
item.
Still sounds ridiculous when I say it that way. But
yeah, I mean, if you at this point, if you don't know what Fortnite is, fucking get a life. But yeah, it's incredible to me that they just haven't. But again, it goes back to like priorities. Where are their priorities? And it's fucking making microtransactions and I don't know, smelling their own farts.
I guess I always compare like Call of Duty to WWE because I'm a big wrestling fan, and like it's the big machine of that specific industry that like it's probably never gonna go away. No matter, it might go through ebb and flows and things like that, and it might not be as profitable if it was 2 years ago, and it might be more profitable 10 years from now. But it's a machine that's gonna keep going. And I remember my favorite wrestler, CM Punk, being a Chicago native and everything. I remember like when he made a comment saying like Vince McMahon's a millionaire, but he should be a billionaire in spite of himself. Like, yes, Call of Duty does make a lot of money, and their only goal is to make a lot of money. But sometimes I feel like they play things a little too safe. Maybe don't focus their energy in specific areas because they realize that we're going to keep coming back. We're going to keep playing. We're going to keep buying things. But like if they focused on like correcting glitches and things like that, they might have a 1% increase in, or maybe like whatever, how many people play, maybe like half a percentage of increase in a player population, but that's going to increase profits significantly.
Yeah. It reminds me of when like, it was when they did sticking with wrestling, when they did the draft and they broke up the Hardy Boys and they broke up the Dudley Boys. And I was like, why are you breaking up these factions? Like, these are the money makers. Like, no one wants to see Jeff Hardy. No one wants to see Matt Hardy. Everybody wants to see the Hardy Boys.
I mean, I love them separately, but the Dudley Boys should have never been separated.
Yeah, well, eventually I think they became kind of good on their own, but like at the time, the Hardys were the fucking money makers.
Mm-hmm. Really, what happened to them is Lita had neck surgery and disappeared, and like they're like, oh, none of the guys care about him anymore. I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump all over your analogy.
But it goes like, anyway. There's been certain moves in wrestling, like the breakup of Nexus or whatever, where it was like, was that the best move here? Like, was that what people really wanted to see? Like, or is this what your ego wanted you to? And I've always felt like, and from hearing a lot of rumors in the industry, that there's a lack of connection between the developers, and by developers I don't mean like the actual like like guy in the lab doing the game. But the guy telling the guy in the lab
Yeah.
what he wants to see in the game.
The head CEO.
Yeah, there's a disconnect between that person and the player. They don't play Call of Duty, so they think that this game should do this, this, and this. When Call of Duty players are, no, you're wrong. We want this, this, and this. We want league play. We want advanced warfare customizations. We don't want to see specialists. We don't, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it my way. I don't give a fuck, because they still make a shit ton of money. But to your point of what CM Punk said about Vince, yeah, sure, you're making a lot of money, but you could be making a shit ton more. Now, I don't know if they want like a steady drip feed, where it's to themselves and to their own bank accounts, where if they go all out and make the greatest fucking game that all Call of Duty players around the world have always wanted to see, then what? Then what's the next year? Like, how are you gonna beat that? So maybe they're okay with being mediocre if they could just kind of slowly coast and get better, like a little bit better every fucking year.
It's all just a cost benefit analysis. They only care about making money, and they're gonna have their they're gonna make their projections and allocate their resources towards whatever they think ultimately is going to make them the most profitable. So like whether if they think a drip feed over time makes it more profitable, or like throwing a crazy update here or there, things of that nature. There's a reason like they started the Call of Duty process of like having a new developer every 3 years, because they wanted to make sure they had a game out every year, but they didn't want to have the quality go down, because it would probably hurt I imagine that's ultimately what the point, having 3 different developers having a 3-year cycle, is make sure the quality remains there, but they'll have a new Call of Duty game every year. Obviously they kind of pulled back from that, one maybe realizing in their opinion the 3 different developers weren't up to snuff, or maybe they just realized that they don't need that long of a cycle and people are still going to buy the shit anyway.
Right.
They've made a history of how many times we bitch about this game not being complete, but we still go back to it because like the bare bones of it is still an incredibly fun game.
Right. Now going back to something you chimed in on really quick about Nick Merckx cheating. Just want to put this out there. Like I don't think it's cheating as much as it's exploiting, and I'm not saying Nick Merckx is 100% guilty at this, but it is a clear cut. It's been pretty evident ever since the skill-based matchmaking website I was talking to you guys about earlier, since this came out, that some of these big top YouTubers / streamers, they've, you can put anyone's name in there and see what they're doing. They've been getting nothing but bronze level, bottom tier lobbies. Now, these guys are the best players in the world. They have 4-point KDs, 2-point KDs, and
going
really,
against those R words that you're afraid to say.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they're consistently getting bronze level matches. Now, the reason I said, well, maybe not, I don't want to blame Nick Merckx, because a lot of them play as, in teams. So it's like, well, who's the lobby leader? I'll blame them. But for them to pretend that that's not a thing, now I know you're full of shit. That's how I know you're full of shit, is by acting like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Then saying that, how are you going to base it off some stupid website? Listen, I've played enough games in the last 3 days and compared it to what I've been seeing on the website, and it is 100% fucking correct. Okay, and I could tell when I'm in a silver lobby. I could tell when I'm in a fucking diamond lobby, and I could tell when I'm in a bronze lobby full of fucking bots.
Like I told you the other day, ultimately, like you can tell by the lobby you're in by how much time a team gives you to shoot at them.
Yep.
If I am able to fire 6 or 7 times, silver and lower, if I'm allowed to shoot, if I'm able to like fire my weapon and have to reload while in a battle, I'm in a bronze lobby. And if I can only get a couple shots off, or ultimately if I hit him with 2 shots and drop him, that's a whole other story. But if it's 2 or less, I'm probably in a platinum. But yeah, they're cheating. They are factually cheating. I guess ultimately, like the pushback on whether they're cheating or not is the Because even if he's in like a lobby with someone who's like the host and they're cheating, I don't doubt that he doesn't know it. I just
Right.
ultimately, it's maybe he doesn't know it, but unfortunately, like I just don't believe it. So
Right. You're guilty by
um,
association.
yeah, I guess I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt, but you mentioned this to me yesterday. I think there is possibly truth to the fact like Activision might be allowing these people, because ultimately at the end of the day, these guys dropping 50 kills and putting it on YouTube is bringing eyes to their product, and people want to go try to copy those guys, you know.
Right.
So like no matter what, it's good for business. So could Activision be allowing them to be thrown into easy lobbies? Yeah, I think there's absolutely truth to that, and regardless, it's still cheating.
Yeah. And there's clips out there like the one I sent you of Nate Shot and Symphony, where Nate Shot was oblivious to this and just kind of asked Symphony, who's a top streamer, about this. And I mean, I've
That
never
guy's lying
heard,
through his fucking
yeah,
teeth.
never
Yeah.
heard anyone sound so fucking, yeah, I mean, I guess, and you could even tell like Nate Shot had like a weird, awkward like reaction, and then he kind of just kept going because he didn't want to
Yeah,
like expose him. But
and maybe whatever Symphony probably wasn't expecting to be called out in front of like he's probably, how many
right,
people watch Nate Shot play? Like
yeah,
thousands. So
yeah,
like he probably wasn't expecting like hard hitting questions. But a simple reply would be like, "Yeah, I've heard of that, man. That's kind of fucked up."
yeah. No,
And
he
then boom.
definitely got caught. Caught slipping. It just sounded super guilty. But then again, you go into their website and they get straight bronzes, and I can't. No, I'm. You're full of shit. You're absolutely full of shit. And then now, coincidentally, they're starting to put like all their like numbers down. Like, see, all diamonds. I'm like, oh, just out of nowhere now, it's all diamonds. So okay, that's like the downside about the website is you could only see like your previous like what 15 matches, maybe 20. You can't see like past that. But I'm interested to see where like the numbers now go, like where these gaudy numbers are going to go now, because problem is a lot of people have been doing this with money on the line. There's Warzone tournaments, and that's where it's cheating. Like
I agree.
you're stealing money, And Nick Merckx walked away from that. He made a video walking away from fucking, saying like I'm done doing those tourneys. There's a lot of hacking and cheating going on. And yeah, I mean there is. If you're going against just bronze 5, you're literally going against people who just started playing this game. And you're already way above average. You're already top 10% of the world, and you're going against literally the bottom 5%.
Yeah, it just feels like there's like an easy solution to this, and like I think we've already had the debate of skill-based matchmaking. I don't have a problem with it. I just want it in like a rank play. Like I want to know that I'm being put against people in my class, and I want like a casual mode that is just literally like a
free for all.
Like,
here
are the first 50 people that you just got matched with. Go, like just make a rank play. But like if we are gold tier or whatever, platinum tier, whatever our average is combined, put us in that lobby, and then we work our way up, sort of thing. And then just make a casual mode that we can just jump around in. Like obviously I'd like to have something to chase in a rank play, but just knowing that like, oh man, we just jumped up to platinum 4 now. Okay, like that's probably enough for me to thirst after it. And it seems like I got it. Listen, I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to do all this shit, but I find it incredibly difficult to believe that it's not that hard to do. I'm not saying like maybe tonight like they can, we just reprogram this, but like they should be able to create a rank play and a casual play, and there's enough of a player base to do it. That said, I would like the DMR to be like I like the meta to be fixed a little bit. I'd like the stim packs to be eliminated, invisible glitch to be fixed, the cluster strike glitch to be taken. Like with all that said, like have a rank play, you gotta kind of get rid of all the glitches, and maybe that's why they haven't. They're like, oh, we don't know how to fix this glitch. Like I know if I hit this button to fix this glitch, it's gonna like
cause
create
another it's gonna cause
endless respawning.
It's crazy because it's like it's at a point right now where it's like all the glitches and all the broken things in this game are starting to like stockpile. Like it's not like one or two things anymore. It's still stuff from the beginning that's kind of every once in a while will fucking rear its like ugly head, like the sound. I got pushed last week by a full team in a house. Never heard them once until they were upstairs. The sound, like the audio is still broken. Better. Better. It doesn't happen all the time, but it has moments where it just fucks you.
I would find it, and I would be listen. Glitches are gonna happen. I get that. It would be less irritating if there weren't so many different ones. Like if we didn't have to play a roulette of glitches every game. Like every match, there's a different sort of glitch you have to deal with.
It's like Destiny's fucking Nightfall when you put the thing on or
the modifier.
Yeah, the modifier. It's like one modifier is gonna be this. What's going to be the modifier in this match? One of you is going to get kicked. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. Wonder who it is.
Yeah. Like, which, I mean, the stim pack one and the visibility one are the two that need to address the most right now because, like, we've experienced both before. It's only happened at least once each for me, but still, like, I don't know how many more times it would have happened if we went deeper into matches. Like, that also part of the reason we experienced it is because it was near the end of the match, and okay, this invisible guy just wiped us out, and like, okay, someone's in the storm. Like, I remember we lost a match because two guys were in the storm. Like that's annoying, obviously. And again, I'm not a programmer. Speaking of Destiny, I remember they had this ridiculous bug. This is the first time they ever had to do it. Like they tweaked. Can't remember what it was. It was like something in your inventory. Like they had to tweak. I'm gonna say, you remember when they had like the heavy ammo packs that you could just drop and have heavy ammo? Like, say they tweaked that somehow, and it wiped everyone's inventory out. Like when they tweaked it, it just completely wiped out like half the player base's inventory, like guns, everything.
Jesus.
So they had to like, they couldn't figure out what it was, and they basically had to reset the game back like a day. So whatever you accomplished during that 24-hour period was gone as well, but you got everything else back. So it's the only time they had to do it. And so far, it's the only time they had to do something like that. But still, like, it was just such a, like, I can't remember what it was, but it's such an oddball thing to create such a devastating glitch. So again, I don't know how to program this stuff. I'm not saying it's super easy, but like someone should, like, that you should have people working on it.
Right. And
instead of making another striped camo that's multiple colors.
Exactly. For $20.
Yeah.
And I guess we should start wrapping this up. Here's my closing statement.
Closing argument.
It seems, actually, it's not my closing argument because I do want to talk about a couple things, or one little rumor that has been kind of not leaked, but there's a rumor out there about the next Call of Duty. I wanted to chime in on that at the end, but here's my closing remarks about the Warzone. It seems like this is something that's going to be ongoing, right? It's going to be Call of Duty's Fortnite. That no matter what Call of Duty's out, Warzone's going to be a continuation, maybe a different map, whatever. But it seems like it's going to be a continuation. Mm-hmm. What terrifies me is that we're not even a year into this year's into Warzone, and the amount of glitches and problems are at the point where they're beginning to stockpile.
Yep.
Something needs to be fixed hard. I don't know what they're gonna have to do it, but it's just gonna get worse and worse. I mean, we still, like, the hackers, the wall hack, like, there's no engine to fight that. There's no program to fight that. People are doing it constantly. there's no replay for the most, like replay is tough. So who knows how many times we're actually getting killed by hackers, so we don't know, we can't see the replay. But it's getting to a point where it's at its worst, and now you're having a big ass update coming in March, which from the sounds of it, you're going to add water to the map and maybe rearrange it a little bit. Oh,
I'm excited
alert,
for swimming.
it was kind of like Blackout, and that was like the worst fucking update I'd ever had. So I don't know. Basically, what I'm saying is you need to start getting a handle on this, because it's going to get out of control. It's going to get out of control, and it's going to get to the point where even the people that are addicted to playing this game are going to finally say this isn't worth it, or something else is going to come out, whether it's a Halo VR or another VR.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are. I think Doctor said it the other day. He's like, I think it's time for another company to pull out another hardcore VR. All it takes is one more, and maybe that's what they need. It's their WCW to their WWE. Maybe that's what they need. They need a little competition, because Apex is kind of on a down, kind of like a downhill. And if you're an Apex fan and you're all about it and you hate my guts for saying that, whatever. No one fucking cares. Look at Twitch. It's Fortnite. It's Warzone. Nothing else. But maybe they need that other, they just need to lose money ultimately, but they really need to start to get a fucking handle on their game before it gets out of control.
Let's hear the rumors now. I'm intrigued.
Oh,
I don't have a closing statement. I got it.
A closing statement? Okay. So the rumors that I've heard is Sledgehammer is back. And I don't know. I mean, it seems like they.
I think you mentioned this the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
It seems like they've been working on this year's, I guess technically this year's Call of Duty, the one that's going to be in October or November. They've been working at it secretly because Infinity Ward just finished theirs, so I'm sure they started doing the next one. Treyarch is current, so they're not gonna be able to push out another game.
Okay, so you're not talking about this upcoming. You're talking like 2022's.
No, 2021.
Oh, really?
Well, there's a game going to be released this year.
Yeah, I know, but you said, okay, by Infinity Ward's being done with theirs, are you referring to The Last Modern?
Yes. So
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
So can they produce another game? Sure, but very unlikely. Treyarch definitely doesn't. It doesn't make sense for them to have another game already.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but Sledgehammer is still under the Activision umbrella, and it seems like they've been secretly working on another COD. And the rumor is it's either going to be World War III or Advanced Warfare 2.
Which could also be World War III.
Which could also be World War III. Now, a lot of people started, getting their buttholes tight with the whole Advanced Warfare 2. Like, oh, we're going back to Jetpack. First of all, doesn't matter what the fuck we go back to, you're going to buy it. Second of all, and I said this in a previous podcast, you could have a future COD and not have Jetpack.
I want the jetpacks back.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, like you and I do. But if you take away Advanced Warfare's jetpack and you keep the same guns, I'm gonna fucking love that game.
Yeah.
But essentially, there's a big like nuclear explosion breaks the grid, so there's no more electricity. There's no
like an EMP.
EMP. Yeah. There you go. Big solar flare, whatever. And you keep everyone on the ground. So maybe that's the thing. I think it's going to be, if I had to guess, as much as I would want Advanced Warfare 2, it would make more sense for it to be World War 3. It just kind of follows the whole, where we're at right now in the timeline, I guess, of Call of Duty. But that's the rumor. It makes kind of sense because it's like, I don't see Infinity Ward having a game this year. It's just, they're not done with Modern Warfare yet. So I don't, and Treyarch's nowhere near Cold War or fucking done with Cold War yet. So it does make sense that there's going to be another, it's Sledgehammer's back in the mix.
I mean, it would have bought them I don't know when maybe Sledgehammer started a game back after World War II.
Yeah, which is, they've had nothing but time.
So maybe who knows, or maybe I don't know.
No, the only reason that I think it might be Advanced Warfare 2, going with the theory that Sledgehammer is the next developer, is the fact that I remember hearing way back in the day that when they were done with Advanced Warfare 1, they started working on Advanced Warfare 2. And then when
they scrapped it,
they had to scrap it and then make World War II out of nowhere because of how bad. I still don't think Infinite Warfare was that bad. Don't get me wrong; it's bottom 5% of CODs, but it's just the community, I think, was just tired. It was too much jetpack. So they scrapped it. Now, if they went back to the drawing board, it has potential to be one of the most completed games that Call of Duty has ever come out. If in theory they've been working at it for 5 years. But I'm intrigued either way. I'm always intrigued about what the next COD is, but I personally would love to see Advanced Warfare 2, same mechanics. But then go back to boots to the ground.
I don't know if I'll buy Advanced Warfare. Whatever. I'm not saying no, because Advanced Warfare was one of my favorite CODs ever. A lot had to do with the utilization of the jetpacks, but if it was pretty much, honestly, if they just like low keyed at Advanced Warfare and just like gave it better graphics, I'm like, all right, here I am.
Yeah. You know, if they do bring back Advanced Warfare 2 and they do bring back jetpacks, they can only bring it back for that year. Next year, which would be Infinity Ward again, go back to fucking boots on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, don't make the same mistake again of just beating the fucking jetpack into our faces.
Yeah, just utilize each like developer's like strengths.
Yeah. You know, World War II was awful. You know, and that World War II is a perfect example that you can't fucking listen to the community. That's what they wanted, and it ended up being one of the worst fucking games. And it wasn't necessarily because it was incomplete, because it was complete. The guns weren't bad. It's just nobody fucking cared for it. So like, you can't listen to the community. Just fucking do your thing. You don't listen to us about the patches. You don't fucking listen to us about the bugs. So don't fucking listen to us about the games. Just do you, boo.
Yeah, just be confident in like development because you know better than us. It reminds me similar, I guess. But speaking from my standpoint, I remember going back to wrestling.
Yeah.
I remember Stone Cold talking about when he walked out on WWE, and he was talking about like the whole point behind it was like he was supposed to wrestle Brock Lesnar, and he didn't like the build up for it. Anyway, the point was Stone Cold would talk about like even during his run as like the top guy is like he won't put together. Obviously, everyone wrestling is it's theater. It is fake. It is there are written stories and things like that, and they act it out for you live amongst fake combat. Anyway, he would talk about, listen, I'm not the guy to like come up with the storylines. I that's not me. Like you give me some material, I'll knock it out of the park, but I'll tell you if it's shit. Like I can tell you that it ain't it. I might not have the solution of what you need to be fixed, but I can tell you 100% that ain't gonna work. Like World War II, I could have told you that shit wasn't gonna work. I don't know what the proper solution was, but I could have told you that ain't it.
This just in. Patch update.
Oh, we got
Warzone.
We got breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get this like a day later than we got
it. You heard it here last. Raven Software has posted patch notes again. Says the Warzone update is going live now, and the DMR is being nerfed. The infinite stim fix.
I thought you were gonna say deactivated.
The stim fix. Oh, here we go. Blueprints were added, of course. DMR bullet penetration reduced from sniper to AR.
What? Anyway.
So basically,
good.
So the bullets are going to be like assault rifle bullets versus sniper bullets. Were they always sniper bullets?
That's what's so literally, like I was saying, it was an assault rifle that shot 50.
Yeah. So the game had a program where it was shooting sniper rounds instead of AR. Okay, cool.
Hey, I appreciate the transparency though, by being like, hey, by the way, guys, what if it was like someone accidentally just coded it as sniper rifles? They're like, I think we found out the problem, Bob.
Yeah. Damage fall off ranges decreased. So it has less range.
I wasn't gonna get on tonight, but now I'm jacked.
Recoil has increased. Moderately for second and third bullet, slightly for subsequent bullets. Locational damage multipliers adjusted. Headshot now does 100 damage after. Okay, so they kind of, now that they nerfed the recoil, that brought back the headshot.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. It seems you can have 100 damage, 2 shots drop you, but if you anyway.
But they've lowered the torso damage percentage.
Yeah, like we said before.
Yep.
But maybe there was a quick fix. They're like, we don't know what's wrong. Anyway, continue.
DMR attachments again. It just got a nerf. Same thing with the Type 63 got a nerf. The burst pistol akimbo, all location damage multiplier set to 1, so it got nerfed also. And then the player no longer gets infinite tactical equipment stim when dropping their weapons while cooking a grenade. So yeah, okay.
That's how it's done.
Yep. Yep. So it's very simple. All right, so
we'll 16's back.
Interested to see how much that nerf was, because the last time they nerfed it didn't do shit. So I think the big one in there is changing the sniper bullets to the AR, which, by the way, not to confuse you guys, it required AR bullets to shoot. But it seems like, from what I just read, that the game was registering them as sniper bullets. So, woo! Good job, Bob. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Baby steps. Baby steps. Yeah.
Exciting. I'm pumped. Best game ever.
Yeah, I didn't read anything about the fucking delay on getting your load up, but that's another update.
I can handle that every 4 times if I know, again, baby steps.
Yeah. It'll probably be a little less crazy being frozen on your loadout now that you know the DMR is not aiming on your back, on the back of your head.
Fucking flying through a wall like the Freak and Unleash video.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We got a lot to, listen, I always say this about any Call of Duty episode. We could be here for fucking days. But good luck out there. Hopefully
Fuck yourself, Brad.
Yeah, hopefully the gun does get nerfed.
I hope everyone had a happy new year, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry about, listen, every once in a while we'll ghost. I'm not gonna fucking start making excuses. We just didn't feel like fucking making an episode, okay?
Yeah.
Deal with it.
My only New Year's resolution is to not overthrow the government.
Yes, yeah. And to not get COVID, apparently. But anyways.
That's number 2.
We'll see you next week.
Toodles.